man, does this place offer some opportunities. We've got everything from fly fishing on the flats to the only place in the entire world where you can catch black marlin in a couple of feet of water on a beautiful island backdrop, duck around the corner and get a 600-pound marlin on the same day. The possibilities are just endless, and not only that, because of the vast distances you have to travel, there's so much ground out here that hasn't even been touched from a recreational perspective that every time you're out there you can spend a whole day just driving in one direction to find a location that you think will be good, and it might be bang, it might be bust, but that's the whole reason we go out and actually do it. Deceivingly easy to travel around, but you've got to do some serious kilometres before you can find some zones in this area. But the more water time you get and the more you're out here, the more you learn, and you find out that those kilometres are well worth it. So the cool thing about running up the island for a day shark fishing is you can actually sit back and relax and take a step back, take everything in. And when you're running 60 kilometres up a pristine sand island, there's always a few hidden gems along the way. And we managed to sneak in on the perfect day with the perfect tide to show just how stunning this place is at a nice little spot called Watumbumber Creek. This place is a renowned campground, but there's not many places in the world where you can have an open bay on one side, a pristine creek on the other, and when you get it from a bird's eye view, this place is absolutely stunning.
Brett, as a fisherman, to me, some people have it as a hobby. It's a lifestyle for him. If you walked into our shed, you could basically convert it into a tackle store. Every weekend or every good weather window, he's sick and off he goes, he's out in the boat. Before we had our little one, every weekend was out. I don't think we were ever home, and it was always overnight trips or week-long trips, and we'd go as far as you can. In our little boat, we'd push the limits, and we ended up in some pretty hairy situations where Brett's just like, you know, you'd swim to the island, and I was like, if what happened? But no, he makes everything more enjoyable, and he's taught me so much more about fishing. I still can't tie knots though.
So plan is to set up on the beach with the family, throw out some gigantic baits for some hopefully gigantic sharks, and sit back and enjoy this nice breeze. We've got a beautiful southerly breeze on a very hot day, crystal clear water. Doesn't get any better, and yeah, some chill time. Yeah, the number one decky, this little one. She's all balls to the wall, full of beans, always wants to drive the boat, and yeah, she hasn't caught a big shark yet, so this might be your first, hey? What do you reckon? Big Tigger?
Now that we have a little one, little Bella, it's been great being able to show her our lifestyle and bring her out on all the adventures, and she's really gelled into our lifestyle, and you can definitely tell that she is our kid. She loves the outdoors, she loves all the adventures, she loves being in the boat, and yeah, and she's been around it ever since she was born, so she's just really adapted extremely well.
Mate, this is definitely different to what we do on our day-to-day big wide trips, but I love it just as much. The thrill of chasing big things off the beach is just as big as the thrill of chasing big things out in the deep. And then I get to take the family with me, share the experience, share the knowledge. Ocean views, pretty good. Hurry up and catch something, Dad. Okay, so when you think about it, a kid in his early teens hasn't got a lot of money. We weren't a family that had boats or anything back in the day, so the only way to get really big fish was land-based, and that really kind of started me getting bigger tackle, bigger rigs, and the fish we were catching that we thought were big, we started using for bait. So your 30 kilo GT gets cut in half and a hook goes in it, and it goes back out and it turns into something that's 12 feet long. And that's where the shark fishing thing really took off for me. So there was a lot of Americans at the time just starting off on YouTube, and like Black Tip H and people like that. And they were catching these monster sharks over in the States, and we're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool, let's give that a crack. And it's all pretty easy looking at the time, but back then it was hard going. Kayaks weren't even a regular commodity back then, so we were swimming baits out. We'd have to wait till the low tide and you'd be there with a tuna and a house brick and you'd wade up to your neck in shark-infested waters and drop your bait and then half swim, half paddle back, and by the time you got back to the beach, sometimes the rod was going off. And we caught some absolute monsters over the years, and it turned into a real kind of good boys weekend away, and then that turned into family weekends away, and now my wife Talia is obsessed with shark fishing as well, and it's to the point where we take our little daughter Bella out, and she's not even a year old, and she's got a couple of sharks under her belt sitting on mum's lap, and okay, let's go drop a big bait, see what we can't find. A couple of different methods to dropping baits depending where you are. We used to use kayaks a lot when we're up the island like we are today. We either use a drone or I'll drop it out in a boat. Generally, it's depending on the size of the bait you're dropping. So we've got a big drone that does big baits, but not as big as the bait we're going to drop today. So we'll put a big dog out with the boat, go and anchor the boat, swim into the beach, wind down, relax, and then we'll drone out a smaller bait. And yeah, we'll see which one comes up trumps. Not every time a big fish likes a big feed. Sometimes the little boats produce the big ones as well, so it's good to cover all your bases. I've been up here most of my life, although I haven't really fished up here all my childhood. I was a bit of a pier rat down on the local jetty, so a lot of land-based stuff. And I think that's where the first passion for this really big land-based sort of fishing scene came into it. Sharks were about the biggest thing you could target, so we used to do a fair bit of it. And since then it's evolved, so we've actually done shark tagging programs with the Queensland University Research Program to kind of do research on breeding tiger sharks to see whether the populations in local areas are resident to that area, and certain drumline programs whether they're taking the breeding females out. We've had a helping hand in that. And Tao's actually in her last year of marine science, so it's, in my eyes, it's really good to kind of pass on the knowledge from a fishing aspect that I know, teach my wife how, what, when, where and why, and kind of show them techniques and procedures we've refined over the years, best practice, how to do it safely, least harm to animal itself. Hopefully it gives her a leg up. Always use barbless. At the end of the day, it's just a shark, so obviously it's not a prized catch in a lot of people's books, so if you miss a couple, it's okay. Unlike our marlin mission the other day, that's not okay. That is dismal. But we have a plan, we're going out for revenge. It's gonna happen. Jobu hit with an angle grinder to take the barb completely off. A lot of people run circles, but I've actually had a few problems with the hookups on circles in relation to deep hooking, and this method for us and the way we run it seems to work the best, and we have a really, really high and successful release rate with minimal harm to any animal. Cool thing about these Jobus too is they're not stainless, so you can see this one's already rusting, so in the very, very rare instance we might lose one, we've got a mild steel hook with no barb, so the chances of that falling out are very high compared to if you're running stainless, and it's just going to stay in there forever. So always thinking about what we do before we do it. So we're going to put it through a pretty chunky part of the fish, a little bit of bone, a little bit of structure so it's not going to come out, and then a cheeky little rubber band over the hook. And what that does is, when you wrap it around a few times, keeps your hook facing up so it can't turn back into the bait. Also, the point of using a big bait for us too is we don't like using sandbags and weights and all that sort of stuff, so the bigger the bait acts as the anchor, and that's all you have to put out there. You don't have to have it break away and leave a plastic bag or a biodegradable bag in the ocean. If it falls off, it falls off. We'll put another one out. So there's no real rhyme or reason out here. If I'm running two baits, I'll put one shallow, one deep. If I'm running one bait, it's just a lucky dip. But I generally don't put them too far off the beach. A lot of the big sharks we see just cruising along, you actually see them, and if you see them, they're in pretty shallow. So my theory is they kind of just hunt the shallows, especially the more predatory sharks like tigers and hammers and stuff like that. Hot tip, if it goes slow and steady, it's generally a big shark. If it takes off a million miles an hour, it's a little rat just absolutely running off. So the slower the better. If it takes off at walking pace, we know we're in for a bit of a tussle. These are still my marlin, heavy tackle marlin setup, so it's all 80-pound gear. I find the harder you go on the sharks, the harder they go on you. So if you can just keep a nice, consistent, smooth fighting approach, they will come in quite quickly. So a lot of people think heavy lines, big drags, get stuck into them, they'll come in quick. But in saying that, they're exerting a lot more energy fighting you while you get them in quick. So if you just go nice and smooth and relaxed and just kind of ease them in, you'll still get them in almost the same time you would on heavy tackle. And we find 90% of our sharks are in a lot better condition for release than you'll find any other shark.
I enjoy catching fish and it is one of my passions, and I think it's building as one of my really good passions just because we have so much fun doing it together. It's great for us to get out as a family now, and you can see that Belle is enjoying it, so it's great that we can spend our weekends out and reconnect with nature and out there fishing and having a good time.
So I'm always out there trying to find some new ways to tweak our style of fishing, and I noticed over in South Africa a few years ago, those guys have got their land-based shark fishing down pat. And obviously because of the sea conditions over there, they don't kayak baits out, they've got great bites and all sorts going on. And I noticed they're using these massive drones and they're dropping like whole tuna and stuff out there with these drones. And I'm thinking, wow, that opens up a whole nother level when it comes to when the weather's bad. We generally go land-based because we can't go out in the boat. We've got a pretty cool toy. We've got a massive drone that carries a payload of 3 kilos in 30 knots of wind. So we don't get to use it too often. So I thought I'd bring it out and give it a run and push it to its limits really. We've got a good 15, 20 knots of southerly offshore at the moment. And we've got what's left of our big mahi we got on our marlin shoaling expedition. So everything we get, we use. If it's not a shark bait, it's crab pot bait. We don't just throw it away. And yeah, we'll run her on out. And 2 baits is always better than 1, they say. Hopefully that comes true. Nice little mechanical payload system there. It's just a hydraulic ram. This opens up a whole new kettle of fish. So I was like, we need one of those. And it can carry 3 kilos in 30 knots of wind. And since we've got that, my brain has just been spinning non-stop. So I've got a whole host of things I want to try. I'm just getting the confidence up because it is a massive drone to pinpoint the accuracy in flying, see what its limits are in conditions. And yeah, hopefully the end goal is to start dropping some really big live baits over the surf side of Fraser Island. And there's been some insane bycatches over there from the Taylor guys in ways of world record size Spanish mackerel and GTs. And if you can hone in targeting those specifically, consistently, that's definitely something I'm in for. All we do is payload off and bombs away. Boss! We'll be able to deliver you back home on this big dog one day. Drop you out to the boat, you can pull the anchor up, bring it back in for us. Back in the day, we'd tackle big 30, 40 kilo GTs on what we call was a rope line. So you'd tie it to the railing, throw a live mackerel over the side and let go and hope for the best and wait for the railing to start rattling and the GTs would be smashing it. And those days are long gone. They're a bit wiser these days, but back then it just kind of lit the fire under you to say, wow, like all this is happening right here. And I just kept going, okay, I've got to go bigger and bigger and bigger. So that thing's happening that I said, if it takes off really slow at walking pace, it's generally large. and that is quite slow and walky feeling. And now it's going slack, so he'll be swimming back towards it. A little bit of a game of cat and mouse when you've got really big baits, because they'll generally walk away with it, get a bit of a taste. You can get a really good feel of what they're doing, especially the bigger sharks. They'll come up, they'll grab a bait, wander away with it, and they'll think, oh yeah, this tastes pretty good, and then they'll shake the living bejesus out of it and take off again. This is a really, really big bait, like really big. It's probably upwards of 8 to 10 kilos, so give him a little minute to make sure he hasn't got it, because everyone thinks shark comes up, swallows it down, runs off. No, the big ones, you'll see them feeding, and they'll cautiously grab stuff and swim off with it before they stop and have a shake, take a dip, and pick it back up again. Calm. Total opposite of marlin fishing. Goes from 0 to 100 with marlin, and with sharks, especially big ones, you just got to be patient. You ready, Belle? This is your first ever shark. Oh, look at the smile! It's all happening. Yeah. Look at that. Grandpa shark. That's who's walking away with it. Big dog. We set the hook with a thing called a running man, which is where we walk down to the water's edge, put it up to strike and leg it up the beach as quick as you can to set the hook, because you think we've got 200 metres of mono, braid and a 500-pound trace sitting out there. There's a lot of belly in your line that you've got to take up, and if you just wind and yank the rod, it's not going to do anything. So aim at a game, get that line super tight, drive that hook home, and yeah, fingers crossed. Slowly walk down to the water, taking up the slack as we go. This other line's also going slack, so we might have a double hookup coming on here. Things are about to get a bit chaotic. Oh dear, what am I? Yeah, legit, something's happening with that one too. Now he's picking up speed, so he's got it proper now. Pick that up to strike. Just wait for that tension to come up. See you later.
I think you got him, Dad.
We're on.
Let the big battle begin.
I feel like he doesn't even know what's going on. A lot of weight there. He's just hooking left. Are you going to strap Mum up? What do you reckon?
Strap Mum up.
Put the gimbal on? I reckon it's Mum's turn. I'm puffed already. Okay, I'll give you this. I'll take the baby. Come, Belle, let's go find Mum a harness and a gimbal. Woo! See you later.
I do enjoy land-based shark fishing. I don't have a favourite, but I do have a very much disliked style of fishing, and that's only because I cannot catch a barra to save my life. But yeah, shark fishing's up there because it's great, because we can just go and relax on the beach and wait for that rod to go off, and the adrenaline that you get is just, yeah, there's nothing else like it.
Looking after the girls. Yeah, look at that.
It's a very relaxing day at the beach.
It is, it's quite relaxing, hey Belle? It's real nice, real nice. Hey, holding you up, big girl. Look at that. Full body weight on it.
I know.
That's what I like to see. Hey, Belle!
Yeah, so Bella's definitely built for the elements. She doesn't complain about much. She's very much chill, exactly like her dad. So Brett is I could say he's the coast lifestyle. That's exactly what he does. He just coasts. Nothing stresses him out, and Bella's exactly the same.
Yeah, there's weight there. They just changed direction, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Might be a tiger. That's what they do. And he's past the boat, I think. We've got to do a bit of a manoeuvre here.
Yeah, oh, there it is. Its tail just came out of the water.
How far away from the boat? I just don't want him to go around the anchor.
Yeah, I might have to start waddling towards the...
Nah, keep that. He's going right around the boat.
He's not...
Yeah, look, see how the boat just changed direction?
Yeah.
I've got a feeling he's... Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
What is that? Yeah. Oh, there he is. There's a tail.
Yeah.
Yep, so
His
just...
tail's quite looking.
Are you in low? Yeah, just go hard. There's the mono. Now we're talking. When you've got a wife that gives as much as she takes, it works really well when you're both into fishing as well. So she'll tell me when I've stuffed up, don't you worry. But she's mad keen when it comes to getting anything big on the sand as well. So I introduced her to the world of shark fishing a couple of years ago. And ever since then, she's kicked my butt in both numbers and size. She's got everything from 12-foot tigers on the beach, and she absolutely froths it. I thought it'd be a bit larger, but that's cool. If you can see, he's got an entire school of remoras hanging off him too. Some rather large ones. Feisty. They are. So we got pretty standard practice with our sharks. We don't take them out of the water. We just let them do their thing in the shallows. Keeps the oxygen and water going through their gills. This one's a rather young one, a bit feisty. So, as you can see, he's come in very healthy, very green. We weren't ripping tons of drag on him or doing anything crazy, so he is fighting fit, ready to go home. So we're going to take our barbless hook out and yeah, send him on his merry way. Easy as that. That might be a massive lemon, Belle. Tao. I've got a feeling it's a massive lemon.
The arms are a bit sore after that one, hey Belle? And then, yeah, we make Dad do the hard work of getting the hook out.
The adrenaline rush of targeting and tackling such an apex predator, but also getting an appreciation for both the size and just the overall awesomeness of the animal, and being able to release it in the best condition possible and let it swim off and just take that whole experience in for what it is. I think that whole concept is just really alluring, and once you do it once, it's a hard addiction to shake, it really is. This is basically our prime example of what we like to do, keep them fully covered, fully submerged. You can see he's healthy as. It's actually a big female lemon shark. We didn't think it was, but we generally don't get them this big here too often. So see the remoras are still having a happy old time on her. She's just chilling there, so aim of the game, keep them covered, keep them happy. When you're ready to let them go, just give them a shove. They're out of there. Keep the experience nice and short, get them back, and she'll go out and terrorise the fish population again in no time, I'm sure. How'd you go, Belle?
Exciting.
Is that your first big shark? Ah, yeah! You see Mum reel it all the way in? It's pretty cool. Yeah.
You got a wind on too, didn't you?
Oh, you look a bit worn out.
Yeah.
Yeah, time for a nap, I think. What do you reckon? Yeah, nap time.
You did your hard work. Say Knuckles.
See you later, Puppet.
Knuckles.
Nap time. Hey, Belle. Yeah.
Hey.
You did so good.
Wow. She got a wind on. Missed my nap. All for a shark.